All right, hey guys, it's Axe. It is Sunday, the 16th of April, about an hour before futures open. I know I've been quiet lately, but to be honest, there's not much going on with the markets. We're just sort of like buying dips. And, I think I've made it clear that until the top is set, we just keep doing what we're doing and don't chase the market right now because it's in a weird spot. And, we're waiting for the next move. So I just wanted to follow up on where we were with the PCRIs. Last we talked, basically we were watching this yellow box. And I think it was somewhere around here, somewhere around there, yeah, like April 10th. So we were looking to see, is this, I said this is, if it chops and grinds lower, we're probably going to see, some spikes, some upside, that sort of thing, similar to what we saw here, similar to what we saw here. You get the idea, right? You're smart. You've gone through these videos and you've looked at the charts and you sort of grok it. So, what we're seeing here now, though, is, this is an ugly structure. There's some liquidity that we picked up here. There's still some to pick up in the 4,200s to 43. This is SPX, by the way. And you could even say 4,400. This is all kind of cleaned up. For the most part, I think we need to get to 4,400 at some point if we are going to go lower. But we're at resistance, too. So there's a lot that's going on now. You can see I've kept these shapes in. It's basically this wedge that led to a breakout. Very similar look to what we saw in May and June. And, if we go down here, each of the indicators is about the same, right? And so we're very close to a sell signal. You can see all it's going to take is a little bit of downside, and these three are going to spike back up. This wedge is going to pop, and then, we could be looking at something like we saw, coming back down to 3,800. If we're lucky, we can get 37. Lucky, we get even lower. And when I say lucky, I don't mean because it's a crash. I mean because we can get better prices. And, we had basically one day to buy 3,500, and it'd be nice if we got another one. Anyway. At the same time, though, you can see the market, it's not like we saw in November where it was just like volatile chop. It's pretty focused and pretty, we're consolidating, I would say, for the move. So we're either gonna break this and get into here, back test it, and try 4,400. We could get 4,260 and come back down, but we're going to break this, and that's going to be huge. And in that case, this is basically going to drop off, kind of like we saw in other times, or it's going to top like we saw here in June. It's going to top like we saw in February, and we're just watching this, right? The minute this structure breaks, the minute it breaks this yellow box and becomes more like the one of these here, or we start to go down lower. The minute it breaks pattern, we know that, okay, we're just going to keep grinding higher. There's no reason to sell. If it starts to break up, even if the prices don't show it yet, but if we start to see this continue to creep up as prices stagnate or get into this 4180 range SPX, that's caution. So for me, I'm not making a trade really until either this breaks out and we get sort of this sell signal trigger that matches this other signal, and we realize, okay, that's a top that's being built. It's time to sell, and let's just ride that. Otherwise, we're watching to see a breakdown on this pattern, or a break from the shape and from the pattern, in which case we're just going to keep buying. So, I just don't like the structure. We still never cleaned up all of this area after, that end of quarter rally. It doesn't mean we can't go higher. It's just, for me, I'm not chasing the market here. I'm waiting. So we're waiting for a breakout, or we're waiting for a top to build and this to curve up, sell signal breakout on this wedge, and that's going to bring the market lower. The alternative is, again, if we continue to grind higher or break out, all these are going to move lower in reverse. There's not a lot of room here on some of the signals and indicators, but if they do go lower, we're waiting for this sort of, fear and greed indicator to move down towards like extreme greed and euphoria. And then that's when we know it's time to wait for that cross. And again, when blue crosses orange, that's what we call a bull cross on the indicators, bear for the price action. So that's it really. We're in the middle, like we were bear market, very strong bear market signals, bear flag down, bear flag down. We started making higher lows. We've yet to make a higher high, but if that happens, that's something, higher local high here, higher local high here. I would call that a higher high if we break 4,300, and then we're targeting this range here. But anyway, that's what I'm watching for. If we break out, look for something in the 4,260 to 4,280. If that breaks out, we're looking at 4,380 to 4,400. Otherwise, there's all the structure down to about 3,990 SPX. This is clean. That's clean. It's mostly clean. So if we can get 3,990, I think that would be an interesting spot, or just a retest of this trend support sort of thing here. To draw this down, 3780, that sort of thing. So I'm going to keep it quick today. I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. We're just watching and waiting. There's not a lot to do here. This is where the money is made, is by being patient. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.